Hey everybody, welcome back to mrclixso's YouTube channel. It is time for another Article 2 from the Wizkids 2021 update. So, you're ready. I'm ready. He's not ready. Let's go. Alright guys, so here we go with Heroclix Rules Update Article 2, Hitting the Bench. Now I'm going to actually link up that article right below in the description, as well as my links right over there. Definitely check them out. I do have a monthly Patreon included as well too. If you guys would like to get into that, we do have monthly giveaways. We do have some swags for different tiers. Definitely check it out. Time to dive in. Heroclix 2021 Rules Article 2. Hitting the bench. Now, it says right there the standard powers in Heroclix are part of what makes it feasible to fit so much gameplay information onto the combat dial. However, 48 powers is a lot of powers when you consider all the in-game terms a player needs to understand to play Heroclix. It's a little over 100 terms. Now, back when I used to play over at Comic Hero University over in Fullerton, I started out with the Deadpool when I was pulling. I think my first ever figure I've ever pulled was a super rare Cable. Now, I saw the cards, it wasn't as big like this, but I saw the card. I'm like, there's just so much powers. I'm like, what is this power? What is this power? And they're like, oh, we got a pack 2. Definitely check it out here. And I'm just reading it, and it's just a lot of verbiage until you actually talk to a player, and they're like, oh, this is the way it actually works. Oh, okay, now I get it. But it does take a lot of time some time for you guys to new players to adapt to the Heroclix. So I kind of get it, what Wizkids is coming at. Another way is, shouldn't be on a DC set, especially Wonder Woman. Reason being is because I'll get through the powers that they're taking away, that they're not designing, not taking away. I'm sorry, designing. So the new figures that are coming out, this is what they plan on doing. So we don't know if it's 100%, but this is what they plan on doing for the new design sets. So I wanted to point out that one right at the very top part there. I highlighted. While this isn't a change to the rules, it's a meaningful change to the design of Heroclix that we know players will notice, and it's part of the strategy we're implementing to make the game easier to onboard beginners. So we wanted to address this amongst the rules updates. So just to understand that this is not going to be the end all be all where you have Storm, the Asgardian Storm, she has Pulse Wave or Energy Explosion, whatever else it is. Well, it's not gonna matter. If they bench Pulse Wave, it's gonna be on the newer designs, not the current. Well, the ones that are out right now. So ones you have right now, don't worry, those aren't 100% locked in. You cannot use it anymore. So just remember that they're not locked in at all. Another one I highlighted is, like we said before, 48 standard powers is a lot of powers, and reducing the number helps the game become more accessible to beginners, or I like to call them new players. Beginners is, I don't know, I like to call them new players. But just like the Indomitable Knot, the number of powers in Heroclix relates to other considerations. Now, on the very bottom right there, it's one of our goals to make sets and low rarity figures, most importantly commons, easier for new players to digest. One of the ways that we did that was to make the total quantity of different powers standard or special across all commons smaller, without putting a number on it. When a player opens a booster, they'll be getting fewer different abilities than they would have before. Open up a booster, you're gonna see just now all these colors jumping at you, and you're gonna be able to put the figures down, look at the card, and just play. That's what Wizkids is designing it for. So you can pick up a card, look at it. Cool, he has this ability and this ability. Cool, let's go. And then move and move and move. Okay, he has 2 action tokens, but you're not gonna say he has 2 action tokens, you're gonna take pushing damage. No, it's a lot more easier and a lot more better for our play base to actually come out and play. Once they get to know certain powers and abilities, now, hey, cool, let's bring in these older figures so you can get better knowledge on it and get more powers. I can definitely see where Wizkids is coming with this. So in the section where it says fewer standard powers changes how figures feel different from each other. Yes, in all basics, I mean, just the way it actually is, just the way it's said is the way it's said. You have commons, ultra chases. Every single bit of them are going to have different feels on them because they have keywords, dial length, combat values, combos with other figures. Like we had the sideline figures, and we had like the Future Foundation. They have their sidekicks, you know, their allies. I mean, they're gonna have different ones, especially with the secret identities as well too. So everyone's gonna combo with one another. But I definitely see what they're saying right on this part here. Now in this section, the way that they actually benched some of the powers, they grouped it this way, which you have damage reducers, which is toughness, invulnerability, invincible, impervious, evaders like super senses and shape change, mobilities like sidestep, telekinesis, charge, hypersonic, and running shot. Then you have boosters, which are essential to any competitive and casual player, which you have perplex, enhancement, and power, range combat expert, and close combat expert. You have terrains like smoke cloud and barrier. Piercers, you know, I would call that defense piercers, like pulse wave, penetrating psychic blast, exploit weakness, and precision strike. Utility, I think utility would kind of go with the same thing as far as boosters, because you have outwit, perplex, and prob. So you still need outwit, perplex, and prob on that, as well as enhancement and power, just depending on combo abilities. But yeah, that's the way that they actually categorized all the standard powers. This section which says which standard powers are benched. This is all their listings, and they do have some words as far as why they're being benched for now. Which is going to be one of them is going to be leap climb. So leap climb, you basically wasn't utilized a lot. I know Hulk utilized it a lot. The little Hulk, Fast Force, I believe. But WizKids says right now there's a good chance for leap climb, and comes back in a slightly more powerful form. But now it's taking a break. But so the way I see it is, they can actually make leap climb like turtles, you know, where you can give them a power action. This is my opinion. It would be pretty cool if they actually have this for leap climb, where you ignore elevation terrain and you can move up 3 squares and make an attack. I mean, I know it's like charge, where you can move up a certain amount, but leap climb would be kind of cool. You can move and attack. I mean, leap climb would be really, really efficient. A little bit more efficient if they have it for move and attack. Just having it for that slot being just for move and a power action just to move is a little off for me. Super strength, I can kind of see that in a sense, the way that they're wording it. Super strength, I mean, you got to pick up a heavy object. Now, what I see them is, there's a lot of light objects in the game right now. Every single figure can actually pick up a light object. So because they're utilizing a lot more light objects, yeah, I can kind of see their ideas as far as why benching super strength just for right now. And this one actually being benched because everyone's talking about willpower, where you have to roll a d6 and then you take off an action token for willpower. So because of my other video, I can definitely see why. Earthbound Neutralize. Not a lot of people actually use Earthbound Neutralize, so I kind of see why it's being benched. Now, as you can definitely see in the very top section, the different categories that they've actually put them in. Precision Strike, that was one thing that's being benched on there. So if you have Super Senses no matter what now gets 5 or 6, because the Precision Strike says you can only roll a 6. So the other one being benched is Pulse Wave. Now, Pulse Wave for me is kind of big, because I mean, it does feel like you are ignoring stuff, and Pulse Wave can feel really negative to get hit with. I mean, it is, but there is combos to stop it. There is a lot of outwitters, so if you don't have any power cosmic or quintessence or protected outwit, you can just outwit Pulse Wave. You know, pretty much like Nimrod. Like yesterday, I was testing out against Nimrod, and you can outwit Pulse Wave. That's another thing we kind of I was talking to one of my locals about was if they benched these powers, can pickup powers pick it? We don't know. That's the only thing. We don't know what pickup powers can do. I mean, can pickup powers pick those powers? But if they're benched, can they? That's a lot to actually think about. Just thinking about it right now. Battle Fury takes away shape change. But as you can see in the very bottom, they took away shape change. So if it's not being shown, then Battle Fury gets, you know. I don't see it as the usefulness of Battle Fury is really hard to understand for beginners. No, not technically, because if you kind of tell them that, you know, what they can do. I understood Battle Fury pretty fast when I was a beginner. Kind of weird. Yeah, it's being benched. Range combat expert. So enhancement really helped us out as well too. Yeah, that's true. So the close combat expert helped out with Empower. Now this is a big one for me. Perplex is an all-star power. It is an all-star power because it packs so much to it. There is so much options for it. You want to pack as much Perplex in it because you want to always Perplex attack or damage, just depending on which its situation. That one kind of hurts a little bit because of the new set that's out right now. Invincible is another huge one, so Perplex, I mean, Invincible is huge for me. Is you have Superman, you have Wonder Woman. Depending on what's in this set, I mean, Wonder Woman is huge for Invincible. It is a pretty powerful because it reduces penetrating damage, but man, it just hurts a little bit. Force Blast, that one hurts a little bit. Hypersonic really hurts me right here. Right in my heart because of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was really good. She has a charge, but hypersonic was her thing. I mean, if you kind of watch her movies, I didn't read too much on comic books with Wonder Woman, but the movies, the way she, you know, runs around, yeah. Support, that another one is hurts me a little bit because in the DC set, there's a lot of support pieces, and yeah. That one hurts a little bit. Well, at least they didn't take away probability control or leadership. So, thankfully. So what's next? Next time you hear from us about the 2021 rule changes, we'll be addressing the changes to the model powers on the pack. That's interesting. Very, very interesting, Wizkids. Alright guys, so that is it for today's rules type of update. That's crazy to see all those powers being benched, and you know, hopefully I really am very much in the positive side for bringing in new players. Definitely, if you guys are a new player and you guys wanted to get to know the game, I definitely, if you guys like my content, make sure you give it a little thumbs up. Definitely helps out the channel. But if you are a new player or active player, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And definitely check out all my other videos that I have. Us Heroclix players, whether it's new or old, whether new or active players, we always adapt to changes. So don't worry, this is just a bump in the road. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll learn more and more about what the real changes are going to be. We haven't had a pack in front of us, so we don't know yet. That link, as well as my social media links, going to be down below in the description. Definitely check it out as well, too. And I do have a monthly Patreon. It's going to be a couple more days when this video comes out. A couple more days until the giveaways for my January. I do have some awesome prizing. Every single month I'm going to have prizing for you guys. So definitely check it out. Also some swag for some certain tiers you guys can choose from. Always remember, guys, if you're going to roll virtually or physically, socially distanced, always remember, if you're going to roll, you always roll a critical hit. And no, I will not be benching my slogan. See you guys later.